today. I want to give you an intro to my 59 Chevy Bel Air. This is the Atomic Belle. It's been a project of mine for about 2 years now. It's a true barn find out of Texas. I'm actually the second owner of this vehicle. The original owner bought it right off the dealer lot, used it as a runaround from farm to town and back. The car sat since 1972 actually. It had some engine trouble and was parked and never moved since. We had it trailered from Texas here to sunny Florida, where basically started bringing it back to life. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of what all we did to it. As you can probably tell, it's not quite stock, but I did try to keep it relatively original. So let's get things started. So obviously you can tell it's got the original paint. This is the patina as it came out of the barn. It's Highland green, in case anyone's wondering. This is the Bel Air trim level, so it's the middle of the road. It's one step up from the Biscayne, one step down from the Impala, and this is one of the four-door hardtop versions. The main thing I would say about this car is, when I first got it, I noticed that it had the original straight six, which I believe is the 235 cubic inch, and it also had a power glide transmission. My original intent was to try and salvage those, see if I could get that engine running. Honestly, it needed just a lot more work than I realized, so I decided it was time to, give it a little more flair. Let me show you what I put in. So instead, we opted to go with a small block Chevy and 4-speed overdrive auto. So specifically, this is a 305 cubic inch small block out of a 1988 Monte Carlo SS. The transmission is the 204R, which came with that same car. A good friend of ours was upgrading his and gave us a good deal on it, and so we brought that engine up to a different spec, took all of the smog and emissions stuff off of it and made it a bit more period correct. Did a tri-power intake manifold and simple accessory setup, long tube headers, and just a couple of upgrades here and there. Big radiator just to make sure we had plenty of cooling, and of course the pretty sweet Holley valve covers. I'm kind of proud of finding those. Power brakes was a big upgrade. This thing originally had manual single circuit drums, I believe, which is horribly dangerous, and especially for such a big car. So upgraded to power dual circuit, discs on the front, still drums on the back, but still manual steering. Just keeping it simple there. Currently partway through installing the AC, which will be another video as well. But for the time being, I managed to get this thing really nicely dialed in to where it's fun to drive, manageable, very livable vehicle. As you can probably tell, we've got it on air ride. That was another big swap. I originally was going to be putting it on the original springs. I even bought them, and they started fighting me pretty bad when I was putting them in, and at some point I just said, screw it, it's not what I want anyway, and might as well move on to the air ride. I was going to do it down the road anyway, so scrapped that, got an air ride kit, and basically, never looked back. I'm so glad I did, seriously. Also was originally going to keep it on the stock 14-inch Steelies, but actually with the disc brakes they wouldn't fit behind the small wheels, so ended up upgrading to these American Racing salt flats, and I think the look is fantastic. They go really well with the patina. Got a lot of compliments on them as well, so I think we kind of nailed it on that one. So let's take a look at the inside. Like I said, this is a barn find car, so you're going to see a blend of a couple of upgraded pieces, or replaced pieces I should say, but mostly original. So the dash and the steering wheel there are both original. Nothing has been swapped out. All the original gauges and everything. So the only change-ups there would be I have a modern head unit and the air ride gauges in the center there, and I've added a moon tack just for that period correct hot rod look. The carpet is new because the carpet in this was pretty bad. And the package tray is also new as well, but the seat covers are original, which is why I've got the hot rod blanket on there, and the back seat is actually in pretty good shape. The door cards, less so, but hey, we'll get around to them. So as you can see, we got quite a big tire on the back as well, mostly just for looks. But definitely ample grip for the amount of power this thing makes. The traction is not an issue, even with an open diff. So it's been kind of nice being able to, give it the beans and it just hooks up and goes. A lot of fun with the air rides. There's a lot of squat. And last but not least, we'll give you a quick look at the trunk. A little bit messy in here at the moment because I do carry my tools and such around in here as well, but as you'll see, we've tucked the air ride up in there nicely. I've got twin compressors and a 7-gallon tank, and then a manifold instead of individual solenoids, just to keep things tidy. The install is elevated on its own package tray above the main one, with little insulator feet just to try and keep the noise down, as these are some pretty big compressors and they are a little bit noisy. Moved the battery to the trunk, mostly for cleanliness in the engine bay. I would say weight distribution, but on this car it doesn't really matter that much. And that's about it. I did tidy the trunk up a little bit, put a new liner in there. Really no major changes outside of that. But all in all, it's been a fantastic car. I suppose I should point out, you probably noticed it's not the factory exhaust. Behind those long tubes, I have True Dual 2.5-inch MagnaFlow stainless exhaust as well. Fiddly to get that fit in with such big tires and the air ride and everything, but well worth it for the sound. It sounds fantastic, and I'm sure we'll give you a demo of that here a little later in the video. But yeah, welcome to the Atomic Belle.